solution of what you're going to do to help them to prevent that pain or to help them to achieve that ambition. You guys getting this? If you guys are understanding this, give some thumbs up here in the chat, okay? Now, third part. So the number one is pain points and ambitions. Write this down. Number two is number one solution. Number three is your story or your client's story. Number four is data and stats, data and statistics. And then number five is going to be your offer plus a bonus. Get those 5 points down. Number one, pain points and ambition. Number two, we have the number one solution. Number three, your story or your client's story. Number four, you have your stats and your data. And number five, your offer plus a bonus. Let me share it from here so that it looks better for you guys. I just admitted somebody in it. All right, here we go. Tell me if this looks better for you guys. Share screen. Tell me if this looks better for you guys. Boom. Is that better? Can you guys read that? If you guys can read that, give me a thumbs up. Does it look better over there? Yeah? Okay. So these are the 5 points. Now you can write them down better instead of trying to read it over here from far. Number one, pain points. Number two, number one, solution. Number three, your story, the client story. Number three, the stats and data. Number four, your story, your client story. Number four, data and stats. Number five, an offer plus a bonus. Now let's get to work and actually create something for you. Okay, so whatever your product and service is, we need to kind of create a little quick pitch. You know, you ever heard of elevator pitch? Like if you use this strategy, use this system, it makes it very easy for you. Or even if you're going to do like a video, you can create a little script where you can kind of just hit these points. And now your client, your audience feels understood faster. They know that your solution is going to help them to prevent that pain. They know that, you know, you have a story that connects with them and relates with them on a personal level, or maybe a testimonial of your client that's been through the same thing. You share some stats and data to make it more credible, right? And then you make your offer plus a bonus. You got to make it juicier. Don't just make an offer. For sure, you can make an offer. A lot of times people are just salespeople and they share about all their features. They share about all the benefits, but they never make the freaking offer. So yes, be really good about selling everything, right? Have you ever been to like a Best Buy? You know, maybe a place where they'll sell this smart board, right? You walk in and you have them right there in the front. They're really cheerful. They have a good energy. They have a smile on their face. They're confident. They're charming. And you walk in, they're like, hey, how you doing? You know, welcome to Best Buy or welcome to wherever you're in. You walk in, they're like, hey, have you seen our new smart board? And you're like, oh, you know, they have a good energy and they bring you in, right? They're influential. They're like, yeah, and they start to share the size, the width, the weight. They start to share, you know, the history of it, how it was brought, all the features, all the different things that it has to offer. They have your attention and they're listening. Maybe you ask a couple questions, right? And they engage you for a period of time. And then what happens? You say, oh, okay, you know, thank you. Let me think about it. Or you're like, oh, no, thank you, whatever. They don't make an offer. They just say, oh, okay, awesome. I'll be here. If you want more information, you let me know. And they're really happy to let you go. There was never an offer being made. So you need to make an offer, and not just make an offer, but put a bonus on it. Put something extra on it. If you buy it today, I'm going to throw this in there for you too. And if you make that bonus really juicy, something really good, they're going to want to buy. It creates more influence and then more leverage for them to buy what you're offering right there. You guys getting this? So let's actually put this to work where you're going to create something for yourself, for your business or for your service that you want to sell. So write down, let's start just with one thing right here, okay? What is a pain point, something painful that you're going to help prevent them from experiencing with your product and service? I want you to write that down. This is for that first one. Let's write down just one to start with. One pain point. And then we'll get into some other ones. Then I want to hear you guys actually share a pitch using this structure. So I'm going to actually bring you on, and you're going to pitch it to the rest of the group, the ones that are bold, the ones that are courageous, the ones that want to take advantage and seize the opportunity to be able to share their product and service. Okay, so this is going to be a little test for you. So I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with this. So number one is let's deal with one pain point. What will your product and service prevent them from experiencing? Just one thing. You know, maybe it's going to prevent them from wasting money, or insurance prevent them from not being fully covered to where they have to pay out of their own pocket. That's a pain point, right? So if you right away get into that, if it's insurance, because we sell car insurance here as well, if you get into, hey, I want to help to make sure that you don't end up at the point where you need, you know, the support of your carrier, the support of us, to make sure that you're not paying out of your own pocket. You know, you got to paint that picture of this pain of what you're going to prevent for them, and then an ambition that you're going to help them to achieve. So write down one pain point right now that your product and service will prevent them from experiencing. If they buy this from you, if they get your product and service, what is it going to prevent? What kind of pain? Just write one thing down. Okay, just write it in a quick sentence right there. Don't make it too long. Make it short and sweet, concise, direct, straight to the point. That's number one. Okay. Now we're going to write a solution, the number one solution that you're going to provide, that your product and service is going to provide to them that will prevent that pain. So what is it? What's the number one thing? Just focus on one. A lot of times we start to throw all kinds of stuff out there and it gets a little confusing, gets complex. They start to, you know, think about all the different things. It's just one main thing, one solution that you're going to provide to them that's going to prevent that pain. So write it down. What is your number one solution that your product and service will provide to them to prevent that one pain point? Number three. Now you're going to tie in whether it's your personal story, how you came up with that number one thing, or maybe a client testimonial that will show that number one thing, you know, being put into practice and how it prevented that pain for them. This is where you start to, you know, relate to them. You start to share something personal about yourself so they can relate to you on a personal level. This is really important to build that trust. Okay. So again, so far we're dealing with the pain point where you write one pain point. Number two, the number one solution that your product and service is going to bring to help prevent that. Then you're going to share a personal story, whether it's yours or a client story, of how this actually worked out one time, right? So for an example, insurance. So somebody calls, you know, one of the pain points that you want to share with them right away, instead of introducing myself, sharing all the backstory, you know, how long we've been in business, you know, that's what you can share over here with your stats and your data, but not yet. You want to get to this first one, make it about them as fast as you can. So, hey, so my job, my goal right now is to make sure that you don't end up paying out of your own pocket when you need to make a claim, right? So my goal is to make sure that you're fully covered. Then you share a personal story, because the truth is we get so many phone calls of people that call us and they're so frustrated. They're so confused because now they got in an accident and they're calling us and they're finding out that their carrier, the people who are supposed to be insuring them in this time, didn't do it. They're finding out that they're not covered. We get so many calls like that. You know, did you know that 1 out of 8 drivers that are people driving around you are actually uninsured? So there's some stats and some data. So that's why I want to make sure that you are fully covered. And if you actually buy today, we can also throw in some DMV services for you. You see that? That's just real simple structure of how you can, you know, sell insurance, right? So write down yours. We have the one main point, a pain point that you're going to prevent them from experiencing. Number 2, the number one solution that your product and service is offering. Number 3, a personal story or a story of one of your clients of how they're experiencing it. And then you want to get some stats or some data. So even right now, as you're listening to this, if you need to get on your phone or on your computer and look up something, so if you don't know already, what are some statistics, some data that are directly tied to your product and service and your industry that you can use in this pitch? And then what is your offer? And if you're able to, what bonus can you add to it? What bonus can you attach to your offer and even give them a deadline to like, hey, I'm going to throw in this if you buy it today. So it creates some urgency there.